Vice President Kashim Shettima has explained why Nigeria has one of the lowest tax to GDP ratios in the world. He spoke on Friday in Abuja at the second joint workshop on 2025 national budget organized by the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. According to him, Nigeria has one of the lowest tax to GDP ratios globally because over the decades, Nigeria developed into a nation where many people perfected the art of hiding their wealth from the government. Shettima was presented by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Affairs, Office of the Vice President, Dr. Tope Fashua, at the event themed 2025 National Budget, a budget for restoration and aligning resources for sustainable national development. Nigeria is a great country with immense prospects for all, but over the decades, we developed into a nation where many people perfected the art of hiding their wealth from the government, he stated. This is the reason why we have one of the lowest tax to GDP ratio in the world. Do you agree with Shettima, Mr. Kilsey, please?
I do not agree with Shettima. I do not agree with Shettima. And I'm surprised he was represented by Tope Fashua, right? Tope Fashua, whatever his name is. Of course, I know him. He never used to talk like this. He never used to talk like this. Maybe because he got appointed, but it's okay. You have to defend the system that you serve. Yeah. Now, why I say that I do not agree with Shettima is this. You see, when you say tax to GDP ratio that we are the lowest, now you look at our social security. What is in place? Nothing is in place. Nothing is in place. Look, we are here in Port Harcourt, that maybe we can ride good roads to an extent. And there are several places in, let's even go to Lagos, to the Lagos. Nothing works, by my estimation, nothing works in Lagos.
It's just overrated.
It's just overrated.
And
apart from the fact that Lagos is overrated, I just see
there are lots of thriving businesses.
No, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why we have thriving businesses in Lagos. You see, there is something called inertia. Inertia is a natural law. It's a law in physics. And then how it works is this: Lagos was capital city, was the nation's capital city. When a lot started happening in Nigeria, yes, when investors were coming in, the oil boom era, and investors were coming in, and a lot was happening. Regimes after regimes after regimes, and all these things was happening around Lagos. And most of the people that were coming in to invest, their first place where they have to touch down was Lagos. And you see, when people come like that and they meet people, there is the exchange of ideas. And the place where there is the cross-breeding of ideas is where things happen. There is an exchange of ideas, and people cross-breed their ideas, and people talk, and then you begin to make one or two adjustments to your original plan. And from there you can decide that, okay, no, let me not go to Port Harcourt. I know I want to invest in, it's an oil investment. Let me have my office in Lagos. And then what we do, we employ people that we send to Port Harcourt. It will reduce it make our operation cost effective. And so people will go to Port Harcourt and achieve for us what we all would have gone to Port Harcourt to achieve. Because people have maybe spoken with you, you have made one or two adjustments to your original plan. Those are some of the things, you understand, not exactly the way I put it, but those are some of the things that got Lagos to have all these investments and all these arrangements in place. But you go to the place, what is happening? The facilities are bad. The roads are bad. In fact, I am beginning to think that River State has some of the best road networks in the country right now.
As it stands now.
No, as it stands
Yes,
now.
As it stands now.
Yes, especially when you take into consideration some of the ongoing constructions and things like that. Yes, you know, because why is that? Is because you see these things, and yet they do not have the investments coming in just yet. They don't have it. You understand? People still see Lagos because that was where it all started, and that's where they have the impression. There are many people you spoke to outside this country. When you see Nigeria's capital, they say Lagos. You understand?
Okay.
And so these are some of the things. So the vice president is not right, because what is our social security arrangement? Nothing is in place. All that people are talking about right now, all that government is interested in right now, is how they can increase tax. Is how they can increase tax. And that is why there was something we mentioned here, that they try to, that people, they think of how to cover what I call basically to paper over the cracks. You want to stop, you want to check suicide. You don't want to find out what's responsible for suicide. You want to check, you want people to pay tax. You know, because Nigeria is the lowest when it comes to tax-to-GDP ratio. Nigeria is the lowest. So you want to stop, you want people to pay tax. But you are not interested in their welfare and how they will be able to pay that tax.
I'm going to cut you short there, Mr. Kilsey. I'd love to hear from you because you really have a lot to say. First off, I'm going to ask you, the question now is, I'm not going to agree or disagree. The question is, the tax payments that have been made in time past, what have been done with those tax payments from Nigerians? I want to get your thoughts on this, please.
No, that's why I love this whole story. This story has really said a lot, because him is saying that the Nigerians are not paying tax. Yet, even the ones that have been paying, we are yet to even see things that have been done. There was a story one time when Apabe was saying that Nigerians are not paying tax. How do we expect them to carry out some activities or services in the country? A country that have not helped their citizens for them to even be stabilized first, and even the ones that are even paying tax, because we have so many investors who are paying hugely to this country, and yet there is no facility that is even helping the citizen for them to still be paying tax for the country. So it's something we should also question, because these people have not even set up places for us to even build on, because what makes the economy grow is by taxation and other activities that happen in the country. Now, the few ones who have been paying this tax are even yet to even see what the tax money is being used for. Everywhere there's bad roads, even our military are not even well equipped, our police are even not well equipped. And this same thing affects security, just as you have rightly said, social security. For us to even have a platform for us to start building our GDP is by having a good security, a good electricity system. There's some parts of this country that doesn't even have good electricity system, and yet how do you expect them to grow the economy?
Okay.
So it's a problem that they need to also focus on, because it's not about we paying the tax. What are we gaining from this tax? There are so many parts of this country that doesn't even have electricity today, but yet NEPA is still saying they want to increase that because of this, because of that, but yet nobody's even seeing this same light they are talking about. So how do we expect them to pay when they are not using it, like when the light is not useful to them? Just like social security, most of all these companies have issues. Sometimes you see them vandalizing their companies, you see youth vandalizing their company, you see youth taking advantage of this company by extorting from them. And then how do you expect the economy to grow when everybody is just here and there, and the country is not even stabilizing all these things? It's not possible. Okay,
as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there's been several criticism that he's neither there or there. I would not want to say it as it is because of certain reasons. What do you think for the period of time he has been in office, that he has actually put in place as a vice president, because they will come to say that most of the tax payments have been used to utilize certain things. There was a time where the meter was about to be changed.
Yes.
I don't know if you had
Yes,
something like
yes,
that. And even the Adelabu, the Minister of Electricity, Minister of Power,
Yes,
has
power.
come to say that they bought new facilities in order to improve the electricity supply in the country and reduce the consistent grid collapse. Fortunately, there's been reduction in the grid collapse since for some period of time. I would love to get your thoughts, how you view the vice president's position as he's the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Oh yes, as the vice president of the country, he has a role to play when it comes to our economy, whereby for me, I'll still say he's trying, though it's a process. He's trying to also make a mark for himself and also for the nation, also because his duty is to also help us build our economy too. As the vice president, he has a role to play in it, but he's limited to an extent because the president have the final say. So as the vice president, he still has a role to play, and I feel he's still trying, though it's still a process. So I believe that if you still give him time given some time, I think you could strategize things you could do for the country.
And that's what I asked you. What have you seen?
I'm yet to see what the vice president have done. For me, I'm yet to see, but I don't know about my boss here whether he has seen. But for me, I'm yet to see. That's why I use the word that it's still a process. So let's give him time to work.
Okay. Going back to the statement he made that Nigerians will rather keep the money from the government instead of paying their tax. Since the president-led administration got into office, there's been certain economy depreciation to an extent. Sometimes the dollar rises above the naira, rises above the dollar. Sometimes it appreciates and depreciates. But the fuel prices have increased. It's about 915 naira at the moment, as of compared to last month, due to the naira for crude. Dollar for crude situation that's going on with NNPCL and Dangote. There's been increase in food prices. There's issue of security in most parts of the country. The Rome, Borno, Plateau, Sokoto. I heard there's a Benue. I don't know if it's Benue, just got attacked again. There's just severe situations here and there. That's why I asked of this position of the vice president. What have the people actually seen? Sometimes someone would say there's this expression, I don't know if it's an idiomatic expression, someone would say, when you thank a king, he gives you more. I do not want to speak it in my natural native language. It says ikeleze or more. So yes, when you thank someone, the person does more. And Nigerians, I think we're fond of wanting to pay for what we see.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to cite the fact of the Nigerians not paying tax. Most companies are actually literally paying tax because you have to, otherwise you get penalized for that.
Yes.
But Nigerians want to a point. They want to see what am I paying for? What's the need of this situation? What am I paying for? So looking at all of this, do we see that this is one of the reasons why Nigeria actually has the lowest GDP, tax to GDP ratio in the country?
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest reasons, because you cannot be paying tax when you cannot see anything happening in the country. The country still as it is in the years back. Even our previous governments have even been doing well, down to the present government. So I feel that's the reason why most people don't pay tax, and why most people don't even share to the public their account or something. So it's so that the government will not be disturbing them and start asking them to start paying tax from their money that they've suffered to get, because it's not even easy to make money from this country. It's really not easy, because these people knows what they pass through before they can make even 1,000 naira in this country. It's not easy. Then imagine you invest that money back to the country or back to the economy of the country, the economy is not fighting you. Because there's most people who want to open businesses in this country, and the country is fighting them from opening businesses. So it's even a problem. How do you want to build our GDP? Just like Innocent Motors, I always emphasize on Innocent Motors. He was supposed to have opened his head office here in Nigeria, where he's producing Nigerian-made cars. But you also saw how the country was fighting him every day. Every time they were fighting him. How do you expect the economy to grow?
So we can relate it to the fact that there are less investors in the country.
Yes,
that's why the tax
there are less
is
investors
reducing
in the country. And even when the investors come in, even the citizens and the government are fighting them. So it's really a big problem. Most time when you invest, most people now that are even scared of investing in Nigeria. Most people are scared of investing in Nigeria because you investing in Nigeria, there's a lot of things you have to pass through. There are a lot of things you have to pass through. So it's not really easy because security alone is very key for an economy to grow. Electricity is also key. Okay, imagine a company, a very prestigious company in a nation like this is still using generators to power their company. This doesn't help. How does the country help them for them to grow? They are paying tax. Why are they paying this tax? They are paying tax to still buy fuel again for their company. No, they are paying tax for the nation to give them security, the nation to give them good road networks, for the country to also give them good electricity for them to carry out their activities. So when they ask for taxation from all these things, they are willing to pay. But once these companies are not having these leverages, how do we expect them to want to invest or want to still pay?
Okay.
You understand?
Yes. Thank you on your thought, Chimini. Mr. Kilsi, do you have more to say on this, please?
What more can I say? Chiminem already done justice. I'll continue to say that the Vice President is wrong in saying what he said. Nigerians are paying more tax every day. Do you know that? Do you know how much? Okay, now look at this. The impression he's giving is that that Nigerians hide their wealth and so are not paying taxes. Do you know how much the banks have been declaring as profit in recent times? They've been declaring their profits in trillions at a time when the economy is in the woods, at a time when average Nigerian families can find it difficult to feed. Do you know why? Why is because the government have systematically worked with the bankers and with the deposit money banks to how do I put it? To get into the wealth of Nigerians and suck out money from them. You know how much we used to pay if you go to every transfer you make now, you're paying a lot of money. Do you know how many of us we are in this country? If you go to Corporate Affairs Commission to register a company, like a limited liability company like I did, before you start business, I don't know, maybe for my own category, I had to pay 20,000 naira. I have not done business. I had to pay 20,000 naira. A deposit that will be receipted at the federal, is it inland revenue or what they call it? I don't know. And it will be receipted and you have to carry that along with you everywhere you go. That's how you're going to start business. And so do you know how many people do that? Do you know how much that entails? Now that is nothing. It has nothing to do with the value added that you're going to pay when you do business. It has nothing to do with retainership, whatever they call it. It has nothing to you pay. Nigerians are paying back and forth, left, right, center. We are just paying. We are just paying. You deposit your money. There's a commission you have to pay. You withdraw your money, there's a commission you have to pay. It's happening to Nigerians. Nigerians are just being taxed to stupor right now. And somebody will still come to say tax to GDP. What are we getting from the taxes? The roads are not good. There is no electricity. There is no security. The vandals are everywhere, the bandits are everywhere, the headsmen are everywhere, kidnappers, cultists, everywhere. They are not stepping into these things. I'm sorry, I don't have to take you back, Chidima, but you see, I don't like it when governments think that they have, because they have the platform to talk, they are going to push their responsibilities to the people. Hapless, who are hapless, who don't even have what it takes to take care of the situation. Our taxpayers' money are with you. You have we pay the police, we pay the military, and you cannot use them to bring about peace. Just deploy them to take care of National Assembly members and governors, and we don't even need those people in any case. So, the Vice President is not telling the truth.